seventh point here is to focus on adequate training and organizational change management. And most companies underestimate the amount of change that ERP systems entail, or if they acknowledge that there is going to indeed be a large amount of change, they oftentimes oversimplify the fact that employees will surely embrace this change because it's going to be so much better than what we've got now. And both of those statements may be true, but the reality is you will have resistance to change. It's just a matter of how much resistance and how much of a headwind it's going to create for your project. So it's important to understand that ERP systems are going to involve big change for the whole company, including employees. There's things you want to look at within change management, such as training and job design, communications, a whole host of organizational change management activities. In fact, we have a whole webinar on demand that you can access on our website if you like, or you can register for a live presentation of it. And it focuses just on organizational change and some of the things you should do from an organizational change perspective during the implementation phase. So we encourage you to check that out if this is an area of interest of yours, or if you think that this is an area that could be a challenge for your organization. And the other points related to training are that training should focus on business process workflows rather than transactions. Most ERP consultants are not good at training. They think they are, or they think they're doing the right thing by just kind of taking those canned training materials that the vendor provides and spitting that out, regurgitating that back to the employees. But rarely does that make any sense to the employees, because employees don't think about transactions. They think about what they're doing and the processes they're following. So you really want to customize those boilerplate training materials that vendors have. You want to customize that for your business processes. You also want to customize it for specific examples related to your business, rather than, if you're an aerospace and defense company that builds satellite parts, that's a lot different than an auto company manufacturer. So if all the examples in your boilerplate training are related to auto part suppliers, that's going to be very different than an aerospace and defense company. So customizing is very important in that way. And then we also will typically recommend a train-the-trainer approach for organizations, just because it is an effective way to embed knowledge in the organization rather than having to rely on consultants to do all the training for you. It really forces you to build more of an internal competency that you can leverage over time. And then finally, the eighth trait is to know why you're implementing ERP. It may sound like a no-brainer. It sounds pretty simple, but you really want to kind of back up and strategically understand what's the point of implementing ERP. Again, the most common pitfall that I see and that we see as a company are the companies that say, we're implementing ERP because we have to. We have no choice. We have to get rid of our old system. They're not supporting it anymore. We just can't scale the company on the old system. So rather than focus on why the current state can't succeed in the future, which may be a true statement, it probably is true, it's more important to define, well, what is it you want out of that new ERP system? Why are you implementing? It's not enough just to say you're just because you have to. What is it you want out of it? Is it because you want to scale the company, you want to standardize business processes, you want to make jobs easier for employees? What are the major goals you want? And that's really going to drive a lot of how you make decisions related to the project. And so you want to clearly understand what you're trying to accomplish, have well-defined purposes and goals for that implementation, and then also mine lessons learned and battle wounds from people who have been there. So one reason why so many clients hire us at Panorama Consulting is because we've been through this. We go through this every day. We're getting more battle wounds every day, and learning from our own mistakes and learning from other clients, and refining and tweaking our best practices. And you want to mine those lessons learned from people that have been through 10, 20, 30, or 50 ERP implementations, rather than maybe just one or two, which is most often the case with internal resources. So understanding why you're implementing ERP is kind of a critical eighth best practice.